Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us. My name is Sandra, and I'm with the Merit System Navigation team. This is the final in a series of newly remodeled webinars designed to focus on how to effectively utilize the Managed Education Registry Information Tool known as Merit. If you were not able to attend the webinars we hosted these last couple of months regarding managing your professional record and submitting education and merit, no worries, as you can watch the presentations on our Professional Development Engagement Efforts webpage. We will be sharing the link during this presentation. As a kind reminder for today's presentation, all participants will remain on mute. Please enter any questions you may have in the chat box, which is located at the bottom of your screen. We have set aside some time at the end of the presentation to answer your questions. We will be focusing on how to access, navigate, and manage a facility site profile in Merit. During today's webinar, we will review how to register a facility site in Merit, review key features and details of a facility site profile, provide helpful information with navigating this tool, plus explore helpful tools and resources to ensure effective management of the facility site and staff details to ensure compliance is being met with licensing. So what is the purpose of a facility site profile? It's a management tool used to monitor and maintain facility, employee, and household member information in Merit. We will go over access requirements in the next slides. Before we begin, a few things to note to ensure there are no barriers with submitting the facility site registration application in Merit. The primary contact must be the first one to be granted access. The primary contact must be in the role of owner, director, family home licensee, or site manager. Must have current employment listed in their individual Merit account. They must be listed as the primary contact in FamLink for the facility site, which is managed by the assigned licensor. It is important to note that the first name, last name, and date of birth listed in the FamLink primary contact details must match the details listed in their individual Merit record. After a primary contact has gained access to the facility site tab, other staff can also access this management tool through granted access as an additional designee. Current employment must be listed in Merit and be in either confirmed or verified status. The primary contact has allowed the staff member to apply as an additional designee. This step is completed under the staff member's employment record. Next, I will walk you through the steps on how to submit the facility site registration application. So let's take a look at the facility site registration application process. First thing you will need to do is log into your Merit account and locate the My Applications tab in your Merit record. Then click on the facility site registration application to get started. Step 1 of the application is the application information. This section includes basic information about what an approved application will allow you to do, such as confirm staff employment, end date employment when individuals no longer work for the facility site, and add and designate additional staff to manage employee information. You could view portable background check statuses for your staff, track staff training and their education, confirm health and safety data for your staff, and participate in early achievers. After reviewing this information, you will click Next. In the next step, you will select the facility you need access to. Note that if you are granted access to apply as an additional designee, it will list yes under the additional designee permission column. Under the Register for the Facility Site column, click on the bubble to the left of the facility to select it. Then click on the Next button to continue. In the next 2 slides, I will be sharing some of the most common error messages that could prevent submission of this application. You may receive the following error messages if the verification of your application is unsuccessful. There is already a director owner for the selected facility, and you do not have permission to apply for administrative privileges. Please check with your facility's director. This error will occur if the primary contact details in family have not been updated. This tends to happen when a change in management is not reported to the assigned licensor, or the required information in your Merit Professional record doesn't exactly match the licensing data in FamLink. Please note that changes needed in FamLink must be made through your DCYF licensor. Any change to this database will require an overnight waiting period to allow FamLink and Merit to sync. The other most common error message is select a facility to register. If there are none, use the I do not see the facility site I wish to register link below to add your employment record. This error message will display if you have not added an employment record in your Merit Professional record for the facility. Should your employment record be listed in your employment history of your professional record, but there is an end date, the employment will not show up on this page. If it was end dated by mistake, please contact the System Navigation team for assistance. We will share the email address in the chat. The last step of the application is to electronically sign and submit the application. You will need to type in your first and last name only, and it must match how it is recorded in your Merit profile. Then click on the Submit button. After you submit your application, you will receive an automated email confirmation with an attached PDF copy of the application for your records. After you submit the application, click on the My Record tab and refer to the Application section to view the status of any application. Your recently submitted facility site registration application will be listed under Submitted for Review and show in pending status. Any questions or concerns regarding approval or denial of your application should be directed to your assigned licensor. Once your licensor approves your request, you will then see the Facility Site tab in your Merit account. Now let's take a look at what details are found under this tab. Name and contact information are located on the top left of the page. To the top right side of the page, the Early Achiever status and quality level are displayed. In the section below, to the left of the page, you will find the details for the program type. For example, the provider license ID, facility, and license type. You will also locate the primary contact details listed under this section. On the right side, you will find details related to the license capacity, license status, and assigned licensor name and their contact details. Below these details, you will locate the following subtabs: employee information, licensed job roles, account management, early achievers, quality recognition framework. In the next few slides, we will go over each of these subtabs. Let's take a look at the information located under the Employee Information subtab. Individuals that have current employment listed in their merit record with your facility will be displayed under this tab to easily view their details. Should you not see all your current staff listed, there are two common reasons staff would not be listed. The staff member has not added an employment record in their individual merit account, or an end date was added to their employment record by accident. For assistance with having the end date removed from their employment, please reach out to our system navigation team. This is the email address we already shared in the chat. Now let's get back to the subtab. Under this subtab, you are able to pull current staff and their details into an editable Excel sheet by clicking on the Export button. This report can be customized to best support you with tracking and monitoring staff statuses. You can confirm or edit the employment details for all current employees. To do this, click on the edit icon on the far right of the employee's record. If it is not displayed on your screen, you might have to use the bar tool at the bottom of your screen to scroll to the right side of the page in order to see it. After clicking on the edit icon, you will be routed to the staff member's employment details for your site. First, it is important to know that you will only be able to edit an employment record if the status is listed as self-entered or confirmed. If the employment status is verified, you will need to reach out to your assigned licensor or system navigation team for assistance. If the employee's start date is incorrect, you can update their employment start date. Check the status box to confirm that the employee currently works at your facility. If you are an owner, director, or family home licensee, you will not be able to confirm your own employment as it must be verified by your licensor. Please note that the employment status is important for employees to submit a training reimbursement application. If an employee resigns or you terminate their employment, you can add an end date to the employment record. Upon saving, the employee's record will no longer be associated with your facility and will be removed from your staff roster. From this view is where you allow other staff to apply as an additional designee. By selecting the Allow User to Apply for Additional Designee box. Once this box is checked, the staff member can then submit the facility site registration application in their individual merit account. After the licensor approves their request, they will have the same access and permissions to the facility site tab as the primary contact does. Now let's move on to an employee's job role. The Job Title tab will only be available if the staff's employment status is either self-entered or confirmed. In this section, you can choose the correct job title if it is not listed correctly. For instance, staff that are listed with the I am currently applying role, if the job title is correct, but they are moving into a new role, please end date their current employment and request the employee add a new employment record with their new role within their individual merit account. Ensure you click on the blue Save button to have the updates you made saved. Next, we will take a look at the Licensed Job Roles subtab. Staff listed under this tab have a job title assigned that has a staff qualifications requirement. This subtab is used to monitor the status for these requirements. A few important ones to call out are qualification status, hiring education, and job role education status. Note the dashboard column. This will only be available for licensed family homes and child care center roles that have staff qualification requirements. Clicking on the blue icon will display a read-only view of the individual's dashboard. We will touch more on this in the next slide. You will also notice that the export option to pull staff and their details into an Excel spreadsheet is also available under this subtab. Now, let's take a closer look at the staff qualifications dashboard. A few things to note. This is only available for licensed family homes and child care center roles that have a staff qualification requirement. It is not currently available for school age, ECAP, or outdoor nature-based programs. The dashboard provides a snapshot view of their staff qualification statuses, and it is updated on a nightly basis. Let's take a moment to go over the dashboard statuses and what they mean. A green status means the requirement is met. Yellow means requirement is unmet, but within allowed timeline for completion. Red means the requirement is unmet and an action is required. Gray means requirement does not apply for that current role. For any statuses that require an action, you can expand that status to see what the action is required to best guide your staff. If you or staff need any support with any of their statuses, please contact the system navigation team. We will use the job role education status as an example with when they have an action required. Did you know that staff can easily choose a pathway on their dashboard with how they plan to meet the full education requirement for their current role? Note that the details listed here are only available in the individual's merit account. Individuals would click on the blue Click Here button, then choose a pathway for how they plan on meeting it. They will only be able to see options available to their specific job role. Note that they can update their selection at any time should anything change. The status will remain yellow as they work on meeting the requirement. Individuals have until August 1, 2026, or 5 years from their date of hire or promotion, whichever occurs later, to meet their full education staff qualifications requirements. We will add the link to our qualifications and role requirements webpage in the chat. Please don't hesitate to reach out to the system navigation team should you need guidance with staff qualification requirements. The Account Management subtab will display a roster of the staff that have access to the Facility Site tab. For example, if an additional designee has been granted permission to apply, they will display on this roster. However, once they submit the Facility Site registration application and it is approved, the additional designee box will then be checked. There is no limit with how many additional designees a facility can assign, but there can only be one facility site designee. Use the delete column to remove an additional designee's facility site tab access by clicking on the red X to the very right of the employee's record. A pop-up box will appear asking for confirmation to proceed before removing this access. Note that this will not remove them from the employee roster. The Early Achievers subtab is where you can submit an Early Achievers registration application and review your early achievers participation information. Once enrolled in Early Achievers, the Quality Recognition Framework subtab is where you can monitor your progress toward your quality level. This includes previewing projected points and finalizing a quality level. For any questions or assistance related to the Early Achievers or the Quality Recognition Framework subtabs, please contact the QRIS team. We will share their email in the chat. You can also visit the Early Achievers webpage for more information. We will share this link in the chat. We hope that this presentation has offered better insight with how to navigate and manage the facility site profile in Merit. We are sharing the link to our current facility site guide in the chat. However, please note that this guide is currently being updated. The guide is accessible on our Merit Workforce Registry webpage. You are welcome to visit this webpage for many helpful resources and additional information. This link is also being shared in the chat. And of course, you are always welcome to reach out to our team of system navigators for any questions, comments, or concerns you may have. Our newsletters and webinars can be accessed by visiting our Professional Development Engagement Efforts webpage. You can also view any upcoming webinars on this webpage. We will put the link in the chat. Thank you all for joining us. We will now open it up to questions.